I want to say good night to each of you here tonight. In a special way, I would like to reach out to those who have traveled from far. But I want to say that this is a crucial time in our lives. It's important that as we listen carefully. It's important that when people spew things at us, we understand it carefully. Good night to each of you. Good night to my mom who's somewhere here. And good night to my family in New York. I just came back from New York 3 weeks ago. And in my journey from New York, I stopped in St. Thomas to talk to a few Angolans. And then I went on to Antigua and Barbados. You can infer what you want from that, but I especially appreciate the people of this great constituency. I want to say that Terry Harrigan has always been respectful of everybody in this village, everybody in this country, globally and regionally. For I think that when we respect the elderly, we are respecting those people who have brought us to where we are. And when I respect the young, I'm respecting those who will take us to where we can be. But in this strange land, there is just too much political disrespect. And tonight, I feel obligated to say a few things, but I'm not pressured, and I will call a few names. For when you say what you want to interfere with the lamb, sometimes changes into the lion. And I'm going to deal with one issue in particular. I'm going to say to the Anguilla Progressive Party, to the Anguilla United Movement, and to the Anguilla United Front. I will send this message. I'll send it clearly. Many means nothing if the people involved are insignificant. Many means nothing if those who are involved in the many are insignificant. When they have no message, when they have no plans, they come to you with one echo, an echo of distrust. I'm a little bit off my script, but I want to say these things because when I was in New York, I heard back in my hometown many stories. Let's lay this to rest. I've spent 24 years in New York, 5 years in the Virgin Islands, 2 years in Antigua, the rest of my life in Anguilla. Not one night have I spent in jail. They can research that. The three amigos can research that. And sometimes when they leave the set of the three and they deal with the subset of the two, they're like Starsky and Hutch. And then they have someone walking in the fire, and that is Colombo. But Colombo may be 74 years old, but it's all right. Tell the truth to the people. But I have no problem. I want to talk about two issues. I want to talk about the fact that Anguillians abroad have said to tell the people at home that we share a special part, a special bond in this country, so no one must object to us voting. You must think that you rile me when you talk bad things about me. No, that can't work. When that happens, I get into my New York skin. Because I know that the train is coming and I have to survive. When you are polite, I get into my Anguilla skin. What do I say? That is not to say what they have said. That in their findings, I have spent time in mental institutions. Well, I say thank God, because if I function to this level, not to be arrogant, what would it be if God had not sent me to a mental institution? I want to say I have never spent one night in a hospital, thank God, in New York. I don't know that I'm healthy, but I'm healthy enough not to have to be admitted there. These are the issues, ladies and gentlemen. The issues have to do with people in a party, people in my family who I've given so much to pull a big man like myself, and I don't mean big in terms of capital, but big in terms of size, and big in terms of the fact that you better leave me alone when I'm resting, to come down to the valley at the Board of Elections. And I have a castigation for Pamela Webster, and I have a castigation for Gwen Webster, my cousins, and Vernon Fleming, who would show up at a hearing objecting to three people. Two are my kids, my children, and one is Annika Lake. And I bring these stories to the people of Island Harbor especially, because when they ask me if I'm here to represent them, I said, you bet it. Because I can't represent Terry Harrigan. I can't do it well enough, but I can represent my kids very well. For any parents must stand up and do just that. But I come here to tell you that this is the course. This is the political course. This is the destructive course that people in this district would exercise in order to get Terry Harrigan out of a race. The objection came from Gwen Webster. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, although some of you may walk off and say this is not part of what you want to hear, but I have a way of saying things the way I want to say them, and if you get tired, then, you know. Gwen Webster said, I know his children, but they don't live here. They don't live here. And when they come, I have asked all over about them. And I know for a fact. I said, well, you are in the wrong business. You should be an immigration officer. They live at the grandparents' home. Then you should work in lands, because that is for title search people to do. The inquisitive nature of some people, just because they're on a road to destruction, sets them and makes them look so foolish. And for me, for the representative of District 1 to accompany somebody to do destruction to someone they did not even research, I asked myself, I said, my, what if I did ask this person to represent me in court? There is no research. For I said Annika Lake was born in Anguilla, and she's a young person that I know for a fact went to school in Island Harbor because I taught there. Jarvie Harrigan, my son, was born in Anguilla. My daughter was born in the States, and if you check the Constitution, if you have spent over 12 months and set up residence in the country, she's a natural belonger because her father was born here. There's no objection. What they want... What they want to do, in their attempt to win an election, do nonsense. But I question the Anguilla Progressive Party on several fronts. I say to them, if this is what you have decided for your candidate to do in Anguilla, then you're not worthy of representation. To stigmatize young people who have a legitimate right to vote in Anguilla. But I would rather have my 20-year-old kid, if I were to quote Gwen's statement, that they cannot come here and decide her future. I would rather have my young kids decide my future than have somebody who's 74 years old, living 3 years here, gain belonger status, decide the future of your children as well as mine. I'd rather have that.